Imagine you are leading a team of 3 people and you have allocated them tasks. The first person is new and doesn't know what to do. The second person is very keen but lacks some knowledge of how to do the task. The third person is motivated and highly competent. How would you approach this? Would you use the same leadership style for each team member? Hopefully you would recognise that a different leadership style is needed for each person. Perhaps you would direct the first person, coach the second, and simply delegate to the third. In this presentation, we will explore leadership styles. We will learn that the most effective leaders recognise the need to modify their style for their situation and are able to select suitable styles and are able to use a broad range of styles. A leadership style is a set of complementary behaviours. To illustrate, transformational leadership is a popular behaviour-based model of leadership. It describes a leadership style that leaders can use to elicit extra effort from colleagues. It's particularly useful for leaders who need to influence without much authority. This is common for development leaders who work across organisational boundaries. It is not, however, suitable for all situations, such as leading in a crisis. One model of transformational leadership by Jim Kouzes and Barry Posner is called the 5 Practices of Exemplary Leadership. The 5 practices describe the behaviours that transformational leaders frequently use. They are modelling the way, inspiring a shared vision, challenging the process, enabling others, and encouraging the heart. So how do you choose the right leadership style for the situation? There are a number of frameworks and models that developing leaders can use to do this. Let's briefly look at 3 of the most popular ones. The first is the Situational Leadership Model by Ken Blanchard and colleagues. It is best suited for team leaders who need to choose the right leadership style for particular tasks and people, like the scenario I raised at the start of this presentation. The model includes 4 leadership styles: directing, coaching, enabling, and delegating. The second is Daniel Goldman's framework from his popular paper titled Leadership That Gets Results. It describes 6 leadership styles that organisational leaders commonly need to use and the circumstances in which to use them. These styles are coercive, authoritative, affiliative, democratic, pace-setting, and coaching. The third framework comes from David Snowden and Mary Boone. They describe but do not label 4 leadership styles that are suited to simple, complicated, complex, and chaotic environments. Let's look more closely at one of these frameworks, the one from David Snowden and Mary Boone. We will focus on the leadership styles that are suited to 2 situations: chaotic and complex environments. Chaotic environments have high levels of turbulence and tension, and there are no clear cause and effect relationships. In these environments, the recommended leadership style involves taking a directive approach. Leaders look for what works and take immediate action to re-establish order. They provide clear and direct communication. Complex environments are dynamic, and there is no consensus on the nature of the problem or solutions. There are no right answers. The term wicked problem is sometimes used to describe these environments. Here, the recommended leadership style involves creating environments that allow stakeholders to interact and solutions to emerge. Leaders foster interaction between stakeholders, facilitate experimentation, encourage task-related conflict, and enable others rather than direct them. This style is known as adaptive leadership. Daniel Goldman researched the use of 6 different leadership styles by business leaders and concluded that leaders with the best results do not rely on only one leadership style. They use most of them in a given week, seamlessly and in different measure, depending on the business situation. Goldman uses a golf analogy to highlight the practical implications of his research. In the sport of golf, professional golfers need to select and use a broad range of clubs as they work their way around the course and encounter different situations, from deep sand traps to smooth putting greens. The clubs represent leadership styles that are suited to different situations. Like professional golfers, the most effective leaders recognise when they need to change style, can choose the right one, and have the capacity to use a broad range of styles. What does this mean for your development as a leader? Please take a moment to reflect on the following questions. 1. Are you aware of the need to change your leadership style as your environment changes? And do you have the ability to select the best style? 2. Do you currently have the ability to use a broad range of leadership styles? 3. What could you do to learn more about leadership styles, practice using them, and get feedback on your performance? Please consider these questions as you build your leadership development plan.